and stream now.
Wait, I need to finish my game. No. Stop.
No,
All
Kenneth.
right. So
Sorry.
technical
No.
difficulties.
Sorry.
Kenneth,
Back.
no.
Fixed.
I'm gonna check the stream on my phone and
Alright.
see.
Yeah, it's working.
Okay.
It's good to go.
Got him.
Cool.
Let's do this,
Good
boys.
to go. All right. Welcome back to the DSOG vlog.
Season 2.
Season 2, episode
4.
Four?
Yes.
Quattro?
Yes, 4. We took a week off,
It's episode 4.
and because we partied.
We didn't really take a week off. It's just that
Alright.
it
It
was.
was like a week and a
with
half we
rival.
took.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it was America though. Like we had
We
Yeah,
took it
4th
off.
of July.
we
Actually, really cool thing happened is that we were all three in the same place at the same time.
unfortunately we weren't able to stream.
I know. I really wanted to get these two jackaloons together and actually do a stream
I
where
had
we were all
work.
together.
I'm sorry.
He had
Um,
work. I had a race.
I raced too, so I guess, you know, we both needed to go to bed.
But
early.
then we got hella drunk and it was fun. But
Hey.
I've never.
I
never-
don't
never-
partake. I'm a bartender. I don't take but I don't partake in the alcohol. I just
That's completely a lie. All right, well,
That's
welcome
how it works
back.
in New Orleans. You can be an
Um,
18-year-old bartender and not
Okay.
drink. Yes.
You can. But what is up? My name is Brooks. My in-game name is Camel Hunt. Joined here by our ever-present and ever-beautiful co-hosts. Go for it.
my name is Carl. In-game name is DSOG Curl. Haven't really been playing much though, so I don't really know if you consider that. I have been playing a lot of Fortnite though to prepare for the Fortnite tournament, which
You're
according
not
to
competing.
Ken, yes, but like I need to know how everything works.
Oh, okay.
So that way I can be a good ref for it. And with that being said, we are halfway through with the signups, so that is
Yeah.
awesome. I need to talk to you about it after this, Ken. But
Okay.
We don't talk business on the stream, boy.
Yeah.
Don't talk business.
And
What
the
is that?
other co-host.
I was gonna no business, but
Kids hitting himself like.
All right, introduce yourself.
I am Ken. My in-game name is Beckraj, and that is the first time that I said in-game name and didn't stutter. In case you guys have paid attention for the past 25
Never.
DSOG blogs.
I never noticed.
Never
Never
Yeah, so I have not been playing like any league.
Me neither.
This is yeah.
I think
I haven't
I
played
played a little
probably-
bit. Not last week, but the week before. I played a little bit. Played a couple games.
We probably should start playing again, guys.
We should probably play again, yeah.
If I didn't have to get up at 4:30 tomorrow, I'd say we could play after this. But
Where are you going? Are you
just going
going?
to run. Just going to run. The guy I'm meeting up with for a run, he couldn't meet any earlier than 5 o'clock. So any later than 5
What
o'clock.
in the hell?
Y'all are a cult.
It's one of the guys on the Millsaps team, and he's working like the grounds for Millsaps over the summer. So he has to get up super early to make sure the grounds look pretty. So it
That's
makes sense.
Yeah.
I told you guys I'm going to New York, right?
Nope.
Yeah, with your family.
Yeah, I'm going to New York.
You didn't tell
leaving
me.
Wednesday, so that is why I pushed to record today. So tomorrow I can pack. I think I
Makes sense.
still need to tell my roommates that I'm going.
Yeah, you should probably do
I
that.
should probably do that.
Well, while we're all going to cool places, tomorrow I'm going to be meeting my girlfriend's family in Destin, Florida. So
That's
that's
what's up.
gonna be there until like Friday. So that's gonna be a lot of fun.
That's I'm staying here. I'm just
Is
chilling.
it,
in
isn't
Jackson.
your wife going somewhere this week?
She's in North Carolina right now.
What's she doing there?
Hanging out with her mom.
Wow.
Yeah,
Nice.
her mom's volunteering in some.
Wait. Wait. Ken, are you married?
Am I?
Ah.
If I were married, you would have been there.
I wasn't there, dude.
He doesn't
You
remember
didn't even
it.
invite me.
No,
You didn't
he
even
just
invite
doesn't
me.
remember it.
I wasn't even
Were you
invited.
there? Were you there?
There is Facebook evidence that I was there, but I don't quite remember it.
Not sure if I was actually.
I was definitely there. I
Why
definitely
are-
saw you get married. And I pulled your wife's ring out of my jacket, so
I know.
I hope.
I moved back to Jackson.
All right.
Just
We've
for your
rambled
wedding.
on. We've rambled on enough.
Yeah,
Let's
that was a
go
long
ahead and
time.
get started.
We don't usually.
So there was no professional League of Legends this week in terms of
Stuff that matters.
regional play. There was definitely Rift Rivals. There, Rift Rivals definitely happened.
Did it?
All right, first question though, did you guys watch a lot of Rift Rivals this week?
I watched
Yes.
some of it. I watched about half of it. I watched half of the group stage, and then I watched all of Saturday after the soccer matches were done.
Yeah, dude, soccer's been super.
Dude, soccer was awesome.
I watched every match because I would get off. I'd watch some of the games between my shifts at work, and then after I get off work, it'd be too late for me to go out, so I'd just watch a couple more matches and then
wow.
Go to bed and
Look at
wake
you.
up for work. So I watched a bit of it.
I had them going in the background a lot, or my fan would be hanging out and I'd walk back inside. And, they'd be going on my computer, but I can't say that I watched a lot of it. I can't say that I was too invested in Rift Rivals. But let's kind of talk about this tournament. So, NA is NA versus EU. Obviously, that's our rival. EU won this year. NA won last year. But
Yeah, I got something to say about that.
So let's talk about it. Why did NA lose, or why was EU better?
Well, it doesn't really matter because NA has never lost Rift Rivals, but they've also never won Worlds. And now they lost Rift Rivals.
So
it's safe to say
Worlds.
they're going to come back and win Worlds.
I
mean,
figured it out, dude.
It's
That
sound.
was it.
The logic
That was
is
it.
sound. It's
No,
there.
you're right. You're completely correct. Yeah. Completely. You know what? You guys just want to end it there?
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
done.
we're done.
It was great.
That's it.
Have fun, guys.
All right. No, but let's talk about it though.
So why was
I've
NA
seen
not as good this year as they were last year?
I've seen a lot of interviews with the European players were saying basically just that NA just doesn't know the meta.
I wholeheartedly agree.
Yeah, I think they're right. I definitely think they're right about it.
It's not that
I
they
think
don't
they're half
know the
right.
meta. Yeah, I mean they know the meta. They know how to play the meta, but the execution is terrible.
Well, I would
Do
say
they know?
I would
Do
say
they know the
even-
meta though?
I would say even then, like there are different metas in every region right now. Like every region seems to be playing a different meta, and NA is playing theirs. The problem that I saw with NA versus EU is EU prepared for NA's meta, and NA did not prepare for EU's.
I can see that.
So like everything that NA brought out,
Thank you.
EU was ready. Oh, is that ice cream? Dude, I want some ice cream. Dang,
Got some grilled peaches on it.
I should have.
But
got.
I think I saw a statistic that said EU or NA was like 0-6 against Aatrox and Heimerdinger.
Yeah.
Yes.
0-6.
We never
I think it was
played
0-6 against Heimerdinger and 0-7 against Aatrox.
never played either of those champions the whole entire tournament, and we lost to them every single time that they were up.
Yep.
So obviously, we have a difficulty with said champions.
I don't know why.
Should we be playing them? We probably should be playing.
I think even if they didn't want to play them, they should have banned it. Like, it was like the TSM versus Thresh against Clutch last in the spring. Whereas like the first game, you're like, no.
It was a fluke. He just had a good game. Yeah.
Second game, you're like, ooh, okay, maybe this is a problem. That's when you ban it. After the second time, you're like, okay, this is 6 and 7 times. I mean, this is not a 3 times in a series. I mean, this is really ridiculous. So, I didn't like it. I saw way too many times Heimerdinger, they just lob a grenade and stun somebody. And
Yeah, there was that. The Splice in Team Liquid game when Kabe he hits like the perfect stun grenade and just like one shot stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
well, there was that time when Heimerdinger he threw it from the bush. So I don't exactly
You don't really fault double lift, but at the same time you say like, damn, that shit is strong.
Right.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, Heimerdinger can do a lot.
Yeah. Well, my issue was like times when the laning phase was over, and it wasn't grenades coming out of the bush in the bot lane. It was like just Heimerdinger setting up turrets and then lobbing a grenade at like the enemy jump. He was there. You could see him. You knew exactly where it was. And NA didn't respect Heimerdinger. I feel like they did respect Aatrox. They just got beat by Aatrox.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think
feel
that
like
they
didn't know what they were doing. Like, and
there could probably be an argument made to say that the EU top laners were just better than the NA top laners.
Agreed.
I mean, like Wonder, Soaz, and Odoamne, like that's hard to. Those are like
didn't Whipper
those are
play
like
a game of top lane?
Whippo he did play top lane once, and he's still really, really good.
He's still really great. I think, yeah, they were better.
And they definitely beat Brandini. Impact did not have a good tournament.
It did Impact horrible.
Huni had a
But when Huni played top, it wasn't as bad as when Huni wasn't playing top.
Yeah.
So
how does this make us look for the rest of the year? Should we be worried about what could potentially happen at Worlds? To be fair, we're always worried at what happens at Worlds.
I don't think
because
that's
we never do
gonna
great.
be personally. I don't think that's going to be an issue just because Worlds is so far away.
yeah, I'm not worried.
And the meta. I mean, this is Riot we're talking about. They're gonna change the meta before Worlds anyway. So and again, it's so far away that NA has time to adapt.
Is EU definitively better than NA?
Right now, absolutely.
Yeah, at this moment, I would say yes.
I think absolutely they're better.
Right now,
Like,
there's no competition.
we sent our three best teams right now. Besides, 100 Thieves before everything that happened.
Yeah, 100 Thieves is in a weird.
I would have preferred to send Clutch over 100 Thieves.
Probably would have been.
Yeah.
But
I mean, 100 Thieves.
Currently, we didn't know that all this.
But to be fair, they also had EU had Splice.
They
And
did.
Splice is the last place team in EU. So like you can't really.
They pulled a P1, dude.
If EU had sent Misfits instead of Splice, it wouldn't have even been a competition.
No.
Yeah,
EU would have just completely destroyed us. Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, I would say. I mean, and it sucks to say it, but yeah, I think that NA or EU is just better than NA right now, and they showed it. And yeah.
I think that I think you're right that there are different metas in each region, but I think that the way that they play their meta and the way that they execute it is better than whatever meta we're playing and however we're executing it. I think they're just better right now.
I agree.
I absolutely think so, but I don't think our meta is better. I think they are better. I don't think their meta is better than our meta.
I don't even know what the North American meta is. So
it's like a weird hybrid between funnel and like traditional.
Yeah. In EU, I think it's. Yeah.
I would say.
EU's just win. Like, just straight up win your lane and push.
I would say that the problem with NA is that the top team, which is, I would say, Team Liquid right now, they're stuck with playing traditional.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have they even tried a funnel yet?
I can't remember.
I don't think they've tried a funnel. I know they tried Vlad in the bot lane, but that wasn't a funnel game.
Yeah, Double has got food on that game.
Yeah, they've played Vlad in the bot lane since though, and it wasn't bad. The problem is that like they run like pseudo funnel like comps. Like you look at all the champs and you're like, oh, they might try to funnel this game, and then they don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I think that's their issue.
They just play standard instead of funnel.
Yeah.
So.
All right, well, let's talk about another kind of discussion that's come up with Rift Rivals is how valuable is this tournament? Is it really worth it for the teams that are participating?
I think it's worth it for the team or for the region that it is a home event for. So this year NA, it's worth it. For last year, it was EU where it was worth it. I mean, they did get beat, but so like if you don't have to travel, it's great. If you do have to travel, it's not really worth it. And the reason why I say that is because you do get some kind of international experience with the other teams coming over, but also the teams that aren't playing Rift Rivals are still scrimming, and they're scrimming the away region. So like TSM released TSM Legends, and they were saying that they got to scrim against G2 and Fnatic this past week. And so for them, Rift Rivals is worth it because they get to practice against the top 2 teams in EU.
Yeah, I feel like that's a bit of a special case though, because I feel like the Rift Rivals teams coming over probably aren't going to scrim against anyone that isn't like, the 3 teams that are playing NTSM. You know what I mean? Like,
but that's what I'm saying. That's who I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Rift Rivals is worth it for. It's actually worth it only for the teams that it's the home region and they stay. And they're scrimming. So,
I think it's not even that much. Not really even that worth it for the home region.
Yeah.
Like I think you get such a short amount of time with the opposing region that is it worth it? Like, do you actually gain that much understanding of what they bring to the table after only a week?
I mean, I think it introduces you into new strategies and ways to play the game.
Why don't you just
that
watch
you can
their
explore?
games?
Because it's different. Because it's different between watching and actually playing against, right?
I don't think if you're the coach.
Yeah, but if you're the players themselves, like you can at that point you can just say, oh, it's all hindsight, right? Like it's different. It is different between actually playing against someone and just watching their games.
Yeah. But the players, like, if you do it in week 3, the playing experience is not going to be that valuable in week 9 when you're starting to gear up for playoffs, and then after playoffs when you're looking at Worlds. I mean, like, 3 or 4 months have elapsed since Rift Rivals, the experience that you get then to then play internationally again. Like, everything's so different. It's not really worth it.
But I mean, every little bit helps.
I guess
like,
you're right.
it could also.
I never argue that like every help, but like
you can't argue against that. It's
but is this little bit worth in any way over the little bit that you get from maybe just taking a week off or continuing life as was?
But like for teams like TSM who get to scrim against.
All right. We need to back off from TSM and think of every region in the world. Like that's the thing you gotta think about.
But even like a mid-tier NA team or a mid-tier Korea team, it was in China, right? For LPL, LCK, and
was LPL LCK China this year or last year? Yeah.
Like, even those teams, like, the Korean teams that... this is a bad example because they all scrim each other anyway on the Korean server.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to make that argument there. But, I don't know. I think...
I personally don't see any reason why G2, Fnatic, or Splice would have come over here and scrimmed CLG. I don't think they did that. And I don't see any reason why they would have. So I don't see how it benefits the entirety of the home region.
If TSM, let's say TSM was in the 3 that played, like, it's such a small, like, like Splice and G2 aren't going back and telling Misfits, hey, this is what happened. Like, I feel like it's just such a small little bit that doesn't actually impact it.
Okay.
The only person who really won at Rift Rivals last year was Mike Young. Like, he showed off and he improved his stock to other teams.
He got himself a spot on TSM for Split. So.
And I'm really happy for him because like he's a good jungler, but like the teams didn't win. Mike Young won because he just got to show off in a way that he would never have otherwise.
And a lot of people thought that P1 was going to come back and be a lot better, and they got back and they were still shit. So you know, I don't know. I would personally, I think it's a good tournament. I think it's awkwardly placed.
Yeah.
The first part. I feel like it's just a weird after the third week. I just don't know.
Put it?
That's the thing. I don't know if you can.
Oh man, I don't know. I really don't know.
Hey, you go with my idea is stop having 2 splits. Go with a 16-week season, have 1 playoffs, send 3 teams to Worlds, and then during the off season have Rift Rivals.
I mean,
my idea was have 3 round robins for as like your split or as your one season, and then after the first round robin round robin, you have Rift Rivals. After the second round robin, you have MSI, and then after the third round robin, you have playoffs, and then Worlds after that. That was my idea.
Oh yeah, you told me that. I like that.
Yeah.
I feel for a team like Team Liquid that has had almost literally no break, you know, between the start of the split. You know, like those guys deserve a break, and the rest of these teams that did not attend Rift Rivals are probably very thankful that they get to take a week. Because there was probably a good bit of time in there when they were not scrimming. They probably took several days off. At least I would hope so. I don't know. I feel like it's awkwardly placed, and I also feel like I think it's a little bit easier for the Asian regions, discounting whatever they do with the Oceanic. And doesn't like Japan play Oceania? I don't know. Besides that, I'm talking specifically like Taiwan, Korea, and China. I feel like it's a little bit more. Yeah, it's a little bit more logistically makes sense because, you know, it's like what, like a 6-hour plane ride maybe, you know, from each destination. That's easy. It's much more difficult for the EU players to get over here, or for the NA players to go over. So that's kind of my thoughts, and I just don't know if it's. You don't really get anything out of it besides just saying you won. So it's more of like enjoyment for the viewer, but less for the player.
Yeah.
I care a lot about the players, I guess, than I do so much about my experience. I don't know.
I guess I like Rift Rivals, and I'm trying to find a way to say that it's worth it because I like watching it.
I think it's worth it too. I think it's totally worth it. I hope to see next year that they make some kind of changes to where
it's a fun,
more logistically makes sense.
What if they have it in like New York, where like both of them have to travel, but it's not as much of a distance? I don't know.
That's still like a 4-hour plane ride versus like an 11-hour plane ride.
I think it's 5 or 6 from California, and it's 5 or 6 from Europe. So it is equidistant, but like
it would be equidistant in that case, right? Like it still
only
sucks.
5 hours from New York to Europe. You sure about that?
I think it's more like 6 or 7.
I think
gotta be at least.
I'm pretty sure I flew out of Philly, and it was like 6.5 hours for me to get to France.
But okay,
I mean, I believe you. I just feel like that's really.
But it also depends on where they're coming. In Europe, you know, Germany. I don't know how far that is.
So okay, so from New York City to Berlin, because that's where EU is. EU LCS is. It's an 8-hour.
That's what the entirety of the EU is.
Yeah. It's an 8-hour flight.
Okay, that's not that bad.
So from LA to
New York City is
I guess it's 6.
5.5.
Close. I don't know. That's not awful, but
it's not as bad, but still it's.
Yeah, I don't know. I hope that they make some logistical changes. I hope that the teams give them feedback and say like,
it's
think we should change
it's a fun narrative. Like the
definitely
casters get they make jokes on each other. I mean, the LCS pigeon was great. Like, yeah.
All right, let's move on. So, for some of the teams, at Rift Rivals, specifically G2, Fnatic did it several times, but this strategy hasn't really picked up so much in North America. I think 100 Thieves did it with Levi
Fox
at Rift Rivals. Echo Fox has done it with Huni. I think Optic tried it, right?
twice last week.
Yeah.
Well, they tried it. They've tried it three or four times, and they've done it. I think they've done it 4 times. Twice with Acadia and twice with Big, or twice with the 8, and it failed with. It worked with Acadia and failed with Big. But
Yeah. So basically, it's the funnel strategy. And if you haven't been watching, the idea of the funnel strategy is basically have 2 supports, and whoever is playing the mid lane is soaking up both the mid lane farm and is soaking up all of your team's jungle. With the idea of having someone being just so stupidly farmed that they can carry every single person on their team. Then the rest of the team, the rest of the team's playing, stuff to support said funnel person. So, what are our opinions on this strategy? Do you like watching it? Do you think it's a strategy that should stick around?
So
what are your thoughts?
Personally, I like it when it's the way G2 plays it. Just because when they play funnel, it's not like it's still interactive. They don't just do farming. You also have whoever they're funneling. They still go to the side lanes and help them out and gank and stuff. But when you have other teams do it, it's basically just let's give this guy farm for 25 minutes, not really interact with the other team, and once he gets strong, then we fight.
And Arrow has said a few things about that, where he's like, if you're just sitting around farming in the funnel strat, you're doing it wrong. You're supposed to be using the power of 2 people in the mid lane to overpower the other person.
Yeah.
Which, when it's that way, 100% okay with it. As a viewer. But again, when you're just farming for 25 minutes and then you team fight and win, that's kind of boring to watch. It's like, it's the same argument as to why I didn't like watching lane swaps. Because there's just no interaction, and you know what's going to go on for the first 13 minutes of the game. So
is this strategy, do we think this is the optimal strategy? Do you think that there are better strategies?
I do think there are better strategies, but I also think that this is, in some situations, this is the better strategy. I like funnel when it's funnel versus not funnel. Because basically you have, jungler giving up the jungle to get a lane ahead versus a jungler that is actively trying to get the other 2 lanes ahead. And it's basically that jungle's roaming presence against the mid lane's pure power. And I like that kind of the way they counteract it. Successfully defeating a funnel strat, from what I've seen in the LCS, is the ability for a jungler to get to pincer the top and the bot lane onto the mid lane. And successfully executing a funnel strat is to mow down the enemy mid laner and then take that power and branch it out to the other lanes. And when I see those 2 strategic ideas combating each other, I really like it.
Yeah.
When I just see 2 funnel strats against each other, it's boring. That's what I don't like. Where it's just all right, I'm gonna farm my jungle, my stuff, and I'm gonna farm yours, and then in 15 minutes we're gonna meet back up in the mid lane and see what happens. I don't like that.
Yeah, what I think is really interesting about this strategy, it is very much meta dominating. Is that the right kind of phrase I'm looking for? So I'm thinking of other strategies that we've had before. So think maybe this isn't like really like a strategy, but it's definitely like picking Oriana and then have ways for the ball to get into the enemy team. That's kind of a strategy in a way.
Yeah.
I guess like the ball delivery system strategy is definitely a thing. Like you get to a certain point in the game, and Oriana's gonna kill everybody with her ultimate. Or for the past literal year, we had the whole like protect the basically just like protect the AD carry until they can kill everybody. But what's so different about this though is that it is also defining every other role.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like that's what I think is interesting is like if you devote your team to the funnel strategy, you're also devoting your team, the rest of the people on your team, to play a very, very specific champions, but also a very specific style.
Yeah, you have to play a very, very strong top laner who can handle ganks and still get out of it.
Which makes me like the funnel strat to a certain degree, but also I don't know. I think it's cool. I don't really have any qualms against it.
And neither do I. Like I said, my only issue is when I watch two funnel strats not do anything for 15 minutes. Yeah. That's the only thing I don't like. I think the strategy's fine. I just think that some teams are incorrectly investing too much into it. I actually don't even think that it's bad to have at all. Let me collect my thoughts. I think that what happens when one team drafts funnel, the other team should immediately think, I'm not going to do funnel. Does that make sense? When you see two bits of the same strategy, that's bad, because that's not strategy at that point. It's just like, well, we can have robots do this and see which robots work better.
Yeah.
And I don't like that. But that is an issue. That is a coaching issue / a player selection of champion issue, not an issue of this being meta. So that's all.
I really like the idea of if you're going to go for this strategy, that you have to draft in a very specific way.
Yeah.
I think that's really cool, and I think that should stick around.
Yeah.
Because I also think that this is one of the most coherent strategies that I think we've ever had. Like there's never been, that I can recall from the past, there's been very few strategies that I've just been like, man, your whole team's got to like really, really like dive into that one. Before there was like, I remember there was a time when it was like, oh, you pick Renekton and you pick Elise and then you tower dive them at level 3. That was a strategy.
Well, it's like the global comp, right?
Yeah.
Nocturne, Shen, Ashe, Twisted Fate, and then somebody else. And everybody can be in one place at once. That's a real strategy that you're drafting, and you're kind of trying to hold that back. And
I think that this is very on the same level as strategy. Yeah, I think that's way more interesting than just saying like, oh, we're gonna pick this champion, we're gonna pick this champion, and then the other 3 picks, whatever.
Yeah.
I think that's interesting. Yeah. Well, the second half
it's a true 5-man draft. Is what I'm saying.
The second half, and it's also something I feel like you got to practice. Like I feel like you really got to devote some time as a team to get this right. The second kind of part of this was like a lot of people. Well, there was a lot of complaints about AD carry kind of falling out of favor. Not so much recently. I feel like people kind of accepted that this is kind of how the game's going to go. But what are y'all's thoughts on AD carry kind of, in a way, falling out of favor or falling out of presence so much? Is this a good thing? How would you feel if you were a professional AD carry player? Maybe. Let's think about it like that.
I don't remember who was talking about this. It might have been the Dive or something. But they're saying every other role has had to do this.
Yeah.
Like, especially like junglers are not really complaining that much, but they should be complaining the most, because a jungler has never had to play support.
Yeah.
The closest thing a jungler has ever had to do is play Ivern or Nunu.
Yep.
And now junglers are literally picking Braum. And so like 80 carries.
All I know is I'm the next best jungler.
Yeah, those are all your champions. Ivern, Braum, Nunu.
All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna play Braum Yi as our funnel, and I will play top lane Lulu or Morgana, and we'll just get Ken fed. We'll get Ken incredibly fed.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's what we're gonna do. And we're just gonna win that way.
No, but I really do think that 80 carries are not going away. I think that champion picks are now becoming more diverse, and 80 carries need to learn to play more than just March.
I agree.
Yep.
100%.
I agree completely.
They
need to stop complaining. They've been like the whiniest. I don't know. I always relate this back to.
I will say.
I always relate this.
The lethality.
Yeah, I will say that my boy Double Lift has embraced this meta.
Yeah.
And
he's doing fine.
He embraced it at first, but I've also heard him recant his embracing. I've heard him say, "I'm tired of this. I wanted to go back." I've heard him say both.
I think he said that at first, and now he's all for it.
I thought he like hated it at first, and now he's like, I actually like it.
Yeah.
I just like having my niche picks at marksman.
Yep.
I
my friends. No, it's just it's Ken. She said.
Hey.
It's my mother. She's wonderful. Where were we? I'm sorry.
80 carries need to get over themselves. I think back towards like the lethality meta. When ADCs were complaining about how like, oh my gosh, ADC in 2017, this is terrible, and like they were fine. Like they were still doing the most damage on the team. Still like they just didn't get the flashy kills early in the game. They still just and that was it. And
I always think back to that meta too because I'm a support player, and the meta at that time was Misfortune, Zyra, and Malzahar. I mean, good lord, dude! Like
your Malzahar was so clean that
it was super clean. Yeah, I was like a 12-game winning streak.
Yeah,
but still, think about that though. Like Malzahar was not a support champion, and all of a sudden he was. You know, it's like, oh, he's a support champion. You got to learn something new. And I'm a firm believer that most support mains don't really like playing Zyra. I think Zyra's a really clunky.
Jared
champion.
Loves playing Zyra. Don't
I know, but he's cheer. I don't know what I meant by that. Jared can play whatever. He's good at Zyra. He went with it.
I can't stand Shaco. Other people, that's all they play.
Yeah. But I don't know. Zyra's just not a support. She doesn't seem to fit the support ideals for me, so I don't know. I don't know. I feel like people should suck it up and accept the fact that Riot wants to make their game more interesting. So, yeah. All right. Well, let's move on. We're gonna do, since we're a third of the way through the split. There's not a lot of actual gameplay to talk about from the past week besides Rift Rivals, and we covered that enough already. We're gonna do a little bit of like we're only in week 3, so this is, we're just gonna be talking out of our butts right here, which is pretty much what I do on this show all the time. So I'm just talking about mine. But what? What are you doing? What is this?
I'm doing the aliens guy.
I thought you were like holding the butt. Like I was like, what do you?
Like alien.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
We're gonna do like a top 5, or a best in each role, kind of like our week 3, MVP for each role. Yeah. So how about let's start at the top of the map in the top lane. So just as a refresher, we got. I guess it's hard to say that Cooney's a top laner right now. We're gonna say it.
Well,
No,
we're
I
gonna,
think we
we're
should. I
gonna
think it's
put him.
where they're slotted to play. I think
Yeah.
that's where.
And
No.
I will say that this is a tie between the versatility of Hooney for Echo Fox and just how dominating Someday has been recently.
I was gonna say Sunday's been a monster.
Yeah,
Yeah,
recently. Last 2 weeks he's been
Yeah.
pretty good. First week he was. Yeah.
Is he gonna play though? I mean,
Is
like,
he? Who knows?
He is.
Okay.
He is. I think they've said. They said Anda and Sunday will be the starters.
Okay.
Brandini was fucking awful, so let's pray to God.
well, I also think that like, if you look at just Ryu and Someday, who's more valuable? I mean, you have to pick
You
Someday.
say Someday.
You know.
All right.
But I would cast my vote for. I don't know. It's hard to say. Hooney's looked really solid, but he's also looked a little shaky.
He looked kind of shaky at Rift Rivals.
Someday's looked really good. Licorice has looked really good.
I was about to say, I was like,
Licorice,
throw
I
out
think,
the-
is that dark horse.
Haunter has looked really good.
I'm gonna throw out the dark horse Licorice. That dude's a monster.
Yeah.
Damn.
But I
I also think Lorlo's had a pretty good split so far.
this is the year of Lorlo.
You know what? One of these years.
It's gonna be the year of Lorlo.
Lorlo's year. It's gonna be his year.
No,
He's
but
gonna be the first North American player to win World.
Okay, that's a
No,
big
I'm just-
statement.
I was talking out of my
Hey.
butt, dude.
Hey man, hey, North America's gonna win Worlds this year because they lost Rift
What?
Rivals. So
Just
if
spoke to-
Lorlo's gonna be Golden Guardians is gonna win gonna win Worlds according to Brooks Mary. That is wow.
I said one day. I didn't say.
You said he was gonna be the first. You said he was gonna be the first North American player to win, and we already.
Oh, so you're saying
already-
that Team
we
Liquid's
already
gonna win
agreed.
it? Oh my God! All right, we're moving on. All right, I think we kind of came to the conclusion.
I'm gonna
that-
say Hooney. I'm gonna cast my vote for Hooney because he's been so good, so consistent in NA for so long that if everybody else is like, if we're kind of like, everybody else can make a case because of his longevity, I have to give it to Hooney.
Okay.
Fair. So
I like Someday better, but if we want to say Hooney, that's fine with me.
I think it has to go to Hooney just for its versatility right now.
All right, well, let's move on to junglers. Dardoch, Grig,
I feel like
Smithy.
you have to give it. Right now, I feel like you gotta give it to Dardoch.
We're not going to include whoever
Really?
teams is
I was
jungler.
gonna take Smithy.
Medios was actually really, really good whenever he's playing. Rainover, Santorin, Lyra, contracts.
Yeah.
Cadian, even though he didn't play week 3, and Finn's So
I think you gotta give it to Dardoch right now. Smithy, I think, is the better jungler of the two, but based off their performance, I think those are the two best junglers in the league, or Smithy and Dardoch.
Mhm.
And I have both of their jerseys.
I would actually probably vote for Dardoch because we've seen him. Almost the same argument that we had for Hooney is that we've seen him do a lot of different things. Like we saw him play the top lane, we've seen him play Alistar, we've seen him play Braum, we've seen him. I think they funneled onto Dardoch at the time. I want to say. Maybe I'm wrong about that.
Was he
Maybe.
playing Graves?
I don't know. But Smithy, obviously, just
I will
very
say-
well rounded. Just does everything he's supposed to do at the right time.
I want to say this about Smithy. So, Ben, staying with me for the next like month and a half or so. We were watching Rift Rivals, and he doesn't really know League that much, but he understands kind of like the basic concepts: the top, the mid, the bottom, and the jungle, and you blow up each other's nexus. And he was watching Smithy as the jungler for North America, and he said, "I feel like, from my basic understanding of League, is that Smithy did everything right, and Pobelter just lost the mid lane, and Smithy could get nothing done." And I'm like, that is exactly what happened.
That's
You
what happened.
correctly diagnosed the game.
That is
Oh.
usually what happens.
That is, when Smithy can't get stuff done on the map, it's almost always his laner's fault. Like,
God, these laners.
I've never seen Smithy legitimately fail as a jungler. I've seen his lanes fail.
Except for that Sejuani ult.
Well, I mean, I've never seen him fail since he went to Immortals. Back on CLG, that was a different.
I will throw out that I do think that Meteos was playing very, very well.
He was. He was.
And then he left the team, so I don't know what to say anymore. But, yeah, he was playing very, very well. But I think we gotta give it to Dardoch, though. Personally, that's just what I think.
That's a tough map.
That's fair.
All right, we're gonna move on to mid lane. All right, we got Phoenix, but Demonte is probably gonna play more games than him from now on. Also, he's not gonna win. So, Bjergsen, Pobe, Ryu, Hui, who's flag? Keen,
Golden God.
yeah, Golden Glue, but
Jensen.
also kind of Jensen. Who's Optic? Power People.
Oh yeah.
Mickey, and Febiven. I think Febiven.
I'm inclined to give it to Febiven, but I gotta give a shout out to PoE. PoE is trying so hard to keep Optic relevant.
He's trying.
He's trying so hard.
I'm
to keep
gonna
him
throw in Bjergsen there just because it's Bjergsen. I don't think he's the best right now, but I think he contends for it.
Yeah, I think Bjergsen has had much better split than last one.
Yeah,
I
think he's had a lot of moments like those 2 games that he played Darius this past week. He looked really good on Darius. He definitely he got that solo kill on Mickey.
I think he's made some flashy plays.
Yeah,
I think he's definitely had some games where he's. The thing about Bjergsen is you're rarely gonna see a Bjergsen game where he's solo carry.
Yeah. But he never loses you the game.
He doesn't lose you the game. That's true. But it's just hard to find games, at least within the past couple years, where I've seen him solo carry.
I just think.
But that's also not the way the game works.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I just think he's one of the most consistent mid laners right now. And so that's why I just want to throw his name in there.
He's just so consistent. I don't know.
I still think that Febiven.
I agree with Febiven.
Oh, I agree. I think Febiven right now is the number 1. I just wanted to throw Bjergsen in there.
That'd be. Oof.
All right.
Yeah. So Febiven.
Yeah, we're going
this is almost the exact same lineup that we gave for our MVP list last split. Just so you know.
Oh my God, you're right. I thought our MVP list, mine was probably personally a little bit different. I'm pretty sure I had Meteos instead of Dark.
I'm pretty sure I had Smithy instead of Dardoch, but I think we
Did we have Febby over over Pobelter?
Yeah. Febiven was our number 1.
Febiven was our number 1. Yeah.
Wasn't he? No. Wait, who was it?
Our MVP was Smithy.
But who was the All Pro number 1? Was it Febiven?
Yeah, it was Febby.
Was it not Bjergsen?
No.
No, it was Febby.
Okay.
I think it was Febiven. All right, we're moving to 80 carry though.
Double lift. I'm not. It's double lift.
Hold on. I think you're right, but I just wanted.
I think
it's double lift.
I think it's Apollo.
Yes. Yes.
I think it's Apollo.
You're just saying that because you love Clutch. You're just saying that because you love Clutch.
I can go get my wristband from the other room and put it on.
I will put on my double.
I had a feeling that this one would be the most hotly debated, so I pulled up some stats.
Okay.
And Apollo's got the most kills in the league at 33. Second most is Double It at 30. Then we got Alltech at 27.
What's their?
Cody's Sun 26. Vin at 26. We got some good AD carries in the league.
Okay. The amount of kills doesn't matter. How much? What's their DPM? Do you have that up?
I don't know if Law Esports is not going to show me that. I can get you.
You can go on the fantasy. Go to fantasy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Look at the fantasy stats.
But I mean, Sven has the highest KDA.
Yeah, but I don't think it's Ben.
Yeah.
I don't
I'm
think it's
just
Ben
throwing
only
names.
because
Just
Mythy
throwing
pulls
names.
him down so much. I haven't looked at fantasy since we.
I think we're all 1-1 or something like that.
Wait, where can I see like totals?
It's on there somewhere.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Yeah.
Good lord, Perks by himself is just carried.
Perks is so good. The king is back, baby. The king is back.
I am 0-0-2 right now.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Who's 2-0 then? If you're 0-2, somebody's got to be 2-0.
Jared is
Jared is 2-0. Jared's 2-0, but I have 7 more points than him in week 3.
Hey, whoever you lost to just had to get.
Oh wait, no, that's sorry.
No.
That's
You know what it was? Is that he got. I would have beaten Jared.
no,
actually.
that's week 4.
He
Wait,
got the pennant.
Yeah, Oltek got a pentakill.
That was it.
Can't-
All
All right, I don't know what's. I can't find. These
All right.
stats we're looking
I'll-
at. Let's
I'll-
just debate. Let's just
All right.
debate. Let's just.
I give
let's
it
just
to
throw our opinions
Apollo.
out there.
I give it to Apollo. I think Apollo is one more consistent, and that might just be because Apollo Hakuo synergy is better than Doublelift Ole, but I still
Man.
think.
I'm not saying Doublelift isn't a bad choice. I'm just saying I think Apollo's been real good.
I think Apollo.
I also think that Cody's son has been very good. Cody's son is always good.
I'm gonna say it's double lift.
Well, Ken and I agree that it's Apollo, so.
We outvoted you on February.
All right, and lastly, let's go
Support
to
is Mithy.
support.
Smithy.
No, Mithy.
A Mythy. Ooh.
Are you trolling, dude?
What?
Dude, I'm trolling. Of course
He's trolling.
Mithy's
All right,
terrible.
we got Adrian, Afro, Big, Biofrost, Fung.
I would say
Well-
it's Yankos because he's number 1 Brom. LCS.
Matt, Smithy, Ole, Smoothie, Zazel. There's been a lot of supports that have played. Just like one game. Oh, this one's hard.
That is real. I don't feel like any support has really stood out.
Yeah, it's not a strong support, man.
I'm just gonna say Ole.
Yeah, I'm between Ole and Hakuo.
I think Hako has been real good. Afromu is always good. Biofrost should always be in discussion, I think. I don't know. I'll just go with whatever you guys say.
I'm gonna go with Camel Hunt.
That's the best.
Camel
I
Hunt,
don't
best
know.
sport.
He's
I'm
in
gonna
a,
say Ole.
Best
Camel
sport.
Hunt's getting traded out for Mada, dude. I'm gonna be.
Matt
It's gonna be deft and Camel Hunt, dude.
Matt Life.
Matt Life?
Matt's been good too.
That has been pretty good. I'm gonna give it to Ole just because I've seen. No, I don't know. Actually, Hakuo maybe.
I think Hakuo is the flashy kind of support player, and he's still playing the flashy style, and a lot of other supports are not. And I think that's why a lot like we're kind of saying like Hakuo just because he's still the playmaker that we remember him, and a lot of other supports aren't in that position
Yeah, like-
anymore.
When you think about other playmaking sports, you think about Ole and you're both doing good. Like,
Yeah.
no criticism, which I can't.
All right, we're going with Ole. Cool
Yeah.
beans, man. All right, let's
Power rankings
do
and predictions.
power rankings.
This is a long pod today.
Hmm?
This is just a long pod today.
How long have we been going?
55 minutes.
Damn. All right, well.
We're
almost done.
We can roll through this. We're good. We're good.
All right, power rankings. Let's go. Who's first? Am I first?
I think.
Yes. Let me pull up the Google Doc.
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna go with Team Liquid.
Team Naked.
Team Nugget. Yeah, they look. Is Team Liquid the new TSM? They can only win NA? Is that?
Number 1 is Team Liquid. And now it actually gets kind of hard for me because I feel like everything's just up in the air. I feel like Echo Fox isn't as good as they were.
Yes.
Team Liquid, just put Echo Fox at second. It's too hard. Actually, here we go. Echo Fox is number 2. Clutch is going to be 3rd.
My boys.
Yeah, boy.
CLG is going to be 4th.
Did you bring up the doc?
Yeah.
I can't see it.
I
It's up
think
now.
TSM at 5. 100 Thieves. With the roster changes, I think they're going to be still fine to make playoffs. 6. 7, Golden Guardians. 8, Optic. 9, Fly. 10th, DSOG. 11th, Cloud9. CLG is 3rd, right?
No, 4th. You put Clutch. It's 3rd.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
That was me. That was mine.
My turn.
I also, yeah.
TL number 1.
I think that's hard there.
Echo Fox 2. I'm gonna put TSM
Yeah, I figured.
at 3. Clutch will be 4. 5. I'm gonna put 100. CLG 6. Oh wait, no, I don't want to. No, CLG 5. CLG 5. I'll put Golden Guardians at 6. And then 100 Thieves 7. And then Optic, Fly, and C9.
Okay. So top 3 are pretty clear for me. TL number 1. Clutch is number 2. Fox is number 3. 4 and 5, even 6 and 7, they're all kind of like iffy. But I'm gonna stick. Since the roster shakeup, I'm gonna go with CLG's 4th. And then it gets real hard. But I'm gonna go 100 Thieves.
100 Thieves 5.
Yeah. Actually, I don't have a whole lot of faith in them. Take them off. Yeah. Number 5 is Golden Guardians. Number 6 is TSM. Number 7 is 100 Thieves.
Woo!
Optic. C9. Immortals. FlyQuest.
See, Immortals died for this. So we're gonna
Immortals died for FlyQuest. Why?
TL. So overall, we have TL number 1.
Yeah.
Echo Fox number 2. Clutch 3. This is where it gets interesting. I think it's CLG.
You think so? Yeah, I put him there.
TSM is 5.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, TSM 5.
I think y'all both put 100 in the top 6.
I put 100 as 7. It's Golden Guardians. We have Golden Guardians.
Yeah!
And then 100 Thieves.
Willow has to make the playoffs if he's gonna win World, right?
Optic, Fly, C9. So overall, TL1, Echo Fox 2, Clutch 3.
I don't know the future. I just predict. That's all.
All right.
God, I'm gonna use that so many times from now on. Oh my God, that's.
I don't know the future. I just predicted.
I don't know the future. I just predict.
Okay, so we're gonna do matchups.
All right, let's
quick.
do our.
Just go down.
All right, week 4, first game of the week. We got some good ones. Saturday's a good day. We got CLG versus Echo Fox. Who's winning?
CLG.
Same. I think CLG wins.
Versus Echo Fox? I'm gonna say Echo Fox.
Okay.
Alright. 100 Thieves versus TSM.
TSM.
I think TSM wins because
100 Thieves just has a lot going on.
Yeah.
100 Thieves got to deal with the new jungle, so I think TSM wins. But you know what? We could see something happen.
I could see it both ways.
Clutch, Golden Gardens.
Clutch.
Yeah.
Clutch.
TL, Optic.
Optic.
TL.
Come on, Kenny.
But if Acadian plays, I give it to Optic.
We all know Team Liquid is going to win.
Team Liquid.
Unless Power Evil just like dumpsters Pope.
That's what I'm thinking, man. I think
Could happen.
I think
Probably
Acadian.
happen.
I think Acadian and PoE can beat Pope and Xmithy right now. I think Xmithy and Pope are both tired and fatigued, and they need to get their mental bearings back, and they're not going to by this week. By playoffs.
The last game on Saturday, the battle of the bottom feeders, C9 and Fly.
The three of us when we stop watching the stream.
Yeah, I'll stop then too. But I actually think FlyQuest wins this one.
I say C9.
I think
if C9 has Jensen in there, and I doubt that they're going to be playing Sneaky, considering Sneaky was at Anime Expo in cosplay.
It was. That's true.
So that just means he wasn't practicing. That's what I'm saying. I don't have anything against cosplayers.
I do. I hate them. No.
I think that they're gonna
Cosplayers
run Golden Glue and Jensen again. They're gonna do the Wizard bot lane. And
Wizards.
you know who I'm surprised we haven't seen? Cassiopeia. Cassiopeia in the bot lane would work well, I think.
Let's try it out and go pro.
Heard.
I'm going. All
All
right.
right.
On Sunday, we got Golden Guardians versus 100 Thieves.
100. No, I'm kidding. It's Golden Guardians. I
think 100 Thieves wins because I'm a diehard fan. I'm gonna perform.
I do have their jersey, but right now I don't know how Ondo's gonna perform. And Golden Guardians have been looking on the upswing this split, and so I'm gonna give it to them.
I don't think that 100 Thieves is going nowhere. I just think like right now they're just in a funk.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, FlyQuest, Team Liquid.
Team Liquid. Team Liquid.
Team Liquid. TSM Echo Fox. Good game.
I'm gonna give this to TSM because I'm a fanboy.
I'm gonna go with TSM too. I don't have a lot of faith in Echo Fox to be consistently winning games. I just don't. I don't think I've bet for them yet.
I legitimately don't know who to pick in this matchup.
So I think if Echo Fox loses their first game this week, they're gonna win this one. If they win the first game this week, I think they're gonna lose this one.
Yeah, we're gonna go with Echo Fox on this.
All right. Pick up CLG C9. CLG. And last game of the week, Optic versus Clutch.
Clutch.
Same, but different.
Same.
They're just so consistent. Clutch is so consistent.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. That was it. That was the last game of the week. This was season 2, episode 4. Thanks for tuning in. We got our Fortnite tournament coming up. It's gonna be lit. Sign up. Come play. Hopefully, we'll be able to do, League of Legends tournaments in the near future.
Check the
all that good stuff. Check the socials for the info. Travis Gafford goes live with his show in 10 minutes. That's always a good one. Tune in, folks. He's the big boy in what we do. So pay homage to the guy.
That was a sneeze.
But thank you for watching. This is DSOG Gaming. Join the revolution. We love you.
Why did you do that?
We love you.
All right,
We love
we're
us.
done. We're done.